How old is too old to rave? After you reach a certain age, should you stop raving? Is there an age limit? Can you be too old to rave? This topic is being brought up because somebody commented on one of my TikTok videos that I was too old to rave. It was a video of me at EDC. Let me show you the comment and my response to it.
I have to laugh. I'm sorry. This is so ridiculous. I can't stand here. I can't sit here and hear this.
Normally, these types of comments come from people that aren't inside the rave scene, the rave community. So it's normally, honestly, just a lot of haters that don't understand and think that you should only rave from certain ages. But unfortunately, it also does come inside the community sometimes, typically from a younger ravers, these early 20-somethings. I guess they think that after you reach a certain age that you're just gonna stop raving. No. I started raving in 2012 when I was 22 years old. The year is now 2024. I've been doing this for 12 years already, and I'm 34 now with no end in sight. When I was younger, I did think that at some point I would stop raving, but never because I thought that I was just gonna be too old to do it. I just didn't think that I would keep going down that path of going to festivals. And I never thought I'd be still doing this all these years later. I have no plans on stopping anytime soon. So as you can tell, my answer to these questions is that no, there should not be an end point to raving. There's still a huge community of people in their 30s, 40s, 50s that are still showing up to events, that still love the music, that still want to get down with the get down. I mean, take a look at all of these comments that I got on my video in response to that comment. People 40, 50, 60, been raving all of these decades or just started raving. The beautiful thing about this community is that we're so accepting. So in general, people of all ages are accepted, and I love that about this community. And I love when I see these comments of people that are still going, even if they're just discovering the scene at 40 or 50 years old. It's never too late. Just because you reach a certain age doesn't mean that you're not gonna like the music or that you're not gonna want to dance. Why should there be an age limit? You're not too old to keep doing this. As long as it's fun. Look at the DJs in this scene. All of these DJs that have been doing this for decades and decades and decades. Tiesto, Carl Cox, Green Velvet, Calvin Harris, right? The list can go on and on and on of these DJs that have been doing this forever. They're setting the standard, right? That you can do this forever. Or even somebody like Pasquale, who started throwing these events in the 90s. That is a grown ass man, and he's still throwing these events. So who's out there saying that there's an age limit when there's people like Pasquale and Green Velvet still living this life way into their adulthood? There's no age limit. I think the rave scene has this stigma, you should be a certain age or stop at a certain age, because unfortunately the rave scene does have that drug stigma attached to it. Not everybody does drugs, so I hate that that's such a part of the scene, but unfortunately it is, and that's just always going to be part of it. It's never going to go away. I do not do any type of drug, and I haven't in a very long time. Of course, when I started out in 2012, of course I dabbled in stuff, but I stopped that shit a long time ago, and I rave predominantly sober from alcohol, right? Right now I haven't even drank in 8 months. Sometimes I drink, but either way, I think maybe that's just why people just have this thought that you should stop raving at a certain age because it's irresponsible, and at some point you need to stop the party life and the drug life and all of that. But it's not all of us are even out there doing drugs, whatever. And if you are, just be safe about it, right? If you're going to participate in substances, make sure that you're testing your stuff, you're getting it from a trusted source, that you're being smart about it. Carry the Narcan in case you see somebody else go down, and just drink your water. There's definitely a way to be responsible about it at any age. Maybe another thought that people have is that it's irresponsible. to rave and live this party life. In general, I don't have any major responsibilities. I'm not a mother, I'm not owning a home. You know, I'm a 34-year-old woman working in a corporate American job. I keep my shit together, right? Like, I'm paying my bills, I'm being a productive member of society. You know, I work out, I eat right. Like, I'm being responsible to myself and knowing when I can or can't do events. And so why does it matter how old I am doing these things, or why does it matter to somebody else that I am 34 and raving if I am being a responsible person and not neglecting any of my priorities? And even if you are a parent, because I just said I'm not a parent, that doesn't mean that they're being any less responsible either. So parents shouldn't be shamed because they do have more responsibilities than somebody like me, a woman that doesn't have any responsibilities to a family or children, a partner, whatever. Like, they shouldn't be shamed either, because how is getting a babysitter for your kid to go to a festival any different than getting a babysitter to have a date night with your partner or to take a girls trip with your friends? It's not any different. So don't come on here shaming the parents either that are ravers. The friends that I have that are parents are amazing and give their children undivided attention when they have them, but also need a weekend off too, just like parents in any other genre of music. Parents that want to attend a rock concert get a babysitter for their kids. So rave parents shouldn't be shamed or have some kind of stigma just because of the music that they listen to. The older that you get in the scene, you also just have a different experience because we have money now. When I started at 22 years old, I was still in college. I was working at the Gap. You're not making a lot of money. I see a lot of these young people, you know, are still in college. Being in your late 20s and 30s, like by now you have a more stable job, you're not in college, you're working full time, like you have adult disposable income. And with that income, you can just have a much different experience. Think about when you first started raving in your 20s, or if you are still in your 20s, I'm sure that you are doing everything you can to save money, right? Splitting an Airbnb with however many people, or squeezing 6 or 8 people in a room that should only fit 4. I'm not doing that shit anymore. Like, I have no problem still splitting a hotel room with 1 or 2 people, but I'm not gonna cram a bunch of people in a hotel room just to save money, or even cheap hotel rooms. Like, I remember my days of being fine staying at a Motel 6. I'm past that point now. I'm not doing that. Like, I will spend the money on comfort, and I also have no problem either doing things on my own. Like, I probably wouldn't have been able to afford a whole hotel room by myself at 22, but at 34, if my friends don't want to come, I'm fine doing it myself, and I'm fine paying my own way and not having to split everything because I can afford it. And the older I got, I also started going more for VIP, which I appreciate. Some festivals, the VIP really is worth it because it's just more comfortable. It has more accommodations. There's places to sit down because, yes, hello, the older you get, you will need to take more breaks. You also have the ability to attend more events with this more money that you have. Like, you may not have to sacrifice certain events for one or the other. The older I got, I feel like the more events I kept going to, and it also like opened up and expanded that I didn't just have to go to local events. I could actually spend money on going to out-of-state events or even out of country. Like, that's where I'm at in my life right now, is that I want to go to global events across the world and not keep going to the same damn festivals and shows over and over again in my local city. I'm grown, I have more of a worldly mindset now. I appreciate cultures more and different experiences. It's just a different priority. So I'm able to expand and go more places because I can afford it. Now, there are some cons about being an older raver. I really don't see them as cons, but I guess the downside of raving as you get older is that you definitely do need to take more breaks. I sit down a hell of a lot more, and thankfully I do have a lot of friends with the same mindset. We're all generally in our 30s or late 20s that we're fine taking a seat, getting out of the crowd. Well, first of all, I don't even like getting in the crowd. I like to stay my ass in the back. I don't want to be deep in the crowd anymore. I'm not trying to ride the rail for hours and hours. I like to stay in the back. I like to have the space and comfort to be able to dance around and get out of the crowd as I need to go sit down as I need to. We take breaks together, get water, go to the bathroom, sit down and have a meal. I remember when I first started raving, like I just didn't eat at all at these festivals. I was so paranoid about my body and being like becoming bloated at a festival. Like if I eat something, like I do not care about that now. Like I'm gonna sit my ass down and eat a buffalo chicken quesadilla or the macaroni and cheese or the pizza or whatever it is and just enjoy myself. Festival food is expensive, but I got the money for it now, right? I do get a little more tired now though. I never want to go when doors open. I mean, to be fair, I never wanted to do that, but I'm not a girl that I need to be there all 3 days from start to finish or however long the event is. Like if I'm tired, I have no problem with leaving early. And I've always just kind of been like that just because I also like to beat the crowd and everything and the traffic. So I have no problem getting the hell out early to beat the crowds and traffic or Uber surge prices. I also just like want to get back early and get in bed and get my full on rest. And sometimes, like for the most part, I still go to all 3 days of an event or whatever, but if I'm just not feeling it, I'm just not feeling it. I'm over the point of like getting my money's worth. Like I don't believe in that in a lot of situations. Like I make the experience for what it is forever, however long that I'm there. I'm not about getting my money's worth or anything. Like money comes and goes. I'm just happy to be there. I don't need to be there from start to finish. I'm there for however long my body wants me to be there. Why would you stop doing something you love just because you reached a certain age? Okay, that's what the point of this whole video is about, that somebody's gonna have an opinion on something. Always. You can't listen to those people. If a once raver decides that it's their time to stop raving, they want to retire, go ahead. But don't let them put their ideas in your head. If you want to keep doing this, then you keep doing this. And the people that aren't in the rave scene that are gonna have this stigma regardless, or gonna have this idea about it, it's like you're never gonna convince them. It sucks because people that listen to other genre of music, I doubt that they're getting the comments that we do. Do people tell Metallica fans that they're too old to be going to Metallica concerts? Or people that are in the rap community and listen to rap music, are they telling those people that they're too old to be going to rap concerts? Probably not. Like it sucks that as ravers, we're the ones that get this, you're too old to party and rave and go home, start a family or whatever, when other genres of music don't get that. But whatever. Like, I don't care. You're not the one who's paying for these events. You're not the one who's coming with me. I don't have to hear your chatter outside of this, so I don't give a shit what anybody says. And just knowing that there's a whole army of people behind me, and even if there wasn't, I'd still be doing it. Just knowing that there's so many of us that don't care, that are still raving in their 40s and 50s and have no plans of stopping. Good. I'm glad that you're not stopping. So just go. It doesn't matter how old you are. As long as you feel like going, just go. As long as you're not neglecting your responsibilities and your priorities, just go. If you're not hurting anyone, just go. And as long as you want to, just go. Doesn't matter how old you are. Thank you guys for watching, and let's just rave to the grave.